Hi, welcome back to A Moment with Marta. Today I want to talk to you about stimming. So what stimming is it is a repetitive action that an individual with autism will do in the efforts to help regulate emotions and or sensory input. And it can be done for positive emotions. I'll see my children stim when they're excited, and you might see pacing or flapping, jumping up and down. You might hear humming or other verbal articulations. You also might see it when they're at a heightened point of anxiety, when they're extremely stressed, and it's their way of trying to cope with their environment. So they're either trying to express their emotions or they're trying to redirect them. And that's all based on the sensory input that they receive. And there's positive stims and there are negative stims. So anything that's repetitive could be a stim. It could be spinning a wheel on a car. My son used to do that when he was really little. He would just spin it and watch it, or he would roll his car along the track and kind of follow the motion with his eyes. He paces and flaps his hands. My daughter, when she was younger, she used to hum and do this jargon, and she always would do it when she was focusing on some kind of a project. So for her, it was a way to help her focus on whatever it was that she was doing. And so that was a stim. Some people, they need to chew on something. It's really similar to some of the things that neurotypical people do, whether it's clicking a pen or nervously tapping your leg, bouncing your knee, twirling your hair. We all, to some degree, have a need to self-soothe, self-regulate when we're in a situation where we're in a heightened point of stress or anxiety, or even when we're experiencing elation. There might be some things that we do, but that's how people with autism can help express themselves or help redirect when they're trying to cope in a very stressful and high anxiety situation. And the problem is a lot of times that parents or therapists or people in the community try to inhibit the person from stimming. They try to get it to stop. And this is really unwise, because what that can do is it will manifest itself in very negative ways. It's a need. It's something that they have to do in order to be able to cope with their environment or to be able to express themselves. And so if they're not able to express themselves in a positive way, then they're going to start expressing themselves in a negative way. And you might see somebody like picking at their lips until they bleed, or maybe instead of having something positive to chew on, maybe they'll chew on their shirt and tear it up, or maybe they might pull their hair out or hurt themselves in some way. And so a lot of times parents worry about it looking weird or their child being stigmatized, but what you can do is just transfer negative stims into positive stims. So if your child really is into lights, like my son is, there's some really great sensory lights that are out there. There's awesome textures. Some people like to feel soft things, or certain types of textures are very soothing. It's not just a fidget. So, while that can help for some people, especially maybe for focus or things like the fidget spinners and cubes, it's not necessarily a fidget. It's a way for them to express themselves or to redirect those really intense emotions. And so it's extremely unwise to try to stop what people might consider different or strange behavior. It's really not. It's not a big deal, because we all have little things that we do. We brush our hair, we twirl it, or we, maybe chew on a straw, or there's lots of things that people just do in everyday society. And when you think of it in those terms, then these stems really, when they're done in a positive way, they're really not that big of a deal. So if someone is pacing, it's not a big deal. They're getting out some of that energy, maybe whether it's nervousness or excitement. They're expressing their excitement and their elation, and it doesn't matter, jump up and down. So you people out there with autism that have your stems, I say stem loud and stem proud, because it's the way that you're expressing yourself, and it's the way that you're able to express what you're feeling, whether it's a positive emotion or a negative emotion, or it's a way to cope when you're in a stressful situation. So anyway, that is what stimming is. And parents, if you're worried about a negative stem, there are all kinds of ways to help your child find that same kind of input in positive ways. So hang in there, and I'll talk with you next time on A Moment with Marta. Bye.